Today I'm going to be sharing 3 tickers to keep an eye out on for this week. As usual, I run the 5-dot squeeze pro scan, which scans for tickers that have at least a 5-dot squeeze on the given time frame that I'm looking at. I just ran it on the weekly time frame, and the one ticker that caught my attention almost immediately is ENPH right here. As you can see, it has an 11-dot squeeze on the weekly time frame. The histograms are all aligned, so they're all cyan on the weekly, daily, 4-hour, 2-hour, and 1-hour, and it has stacked EMAs on those same time frames. Looking at the weekly chart for ENPH, look at those EMAs. They are stacked perfectly. And when I say stacked, I mean the 8 is above the 21, the 21 is above the 34 is above the 55, and so on. That's what stacked EMAs look like. They are neatly stacked. Price action is above the 8 EMA. A pullback to the 8 EMA would be an ideal entry, of course. Looking at the Squeeze Pro histogram, you see that it has been in a black dot squeeze, which turned into a red dot squeeze for more than 5 bars. The TTM wave is cyan and pointed upward. All of these are bullish indications. If ENPH were to fire, it is likely to fire long, and if it does, I will be looking for an in the money or at the money call. Remember, you can take these trades while they're in a squeeze. I prefer to take them once they have fired. The next ticker I will be watching is UNH. UNH has earnings before market on July 15th, so I will either trade it before earnings or after earnings. I do not hold through earnings. It has a 21-dot squeeze on the weekly time frame, already fired long on the 2-hour time frame. The histograms are mostly aligned. I am concerned about this 1-hour histogram being dark blue, so I will be waiting to see if this dark blue histogram turns cyan or yellow to indicate bullish momentum on this time frame as well. The EMAs are stacked positive across the time frames. The weekly chart for UNH shows us that the EMAs are stacked. You have price action right above the 8 EMA. Looking at the squeeze histogram, you see that it has went from dark blue to red and then red to yellow. Red to yellow means that bearish momentum is slowing down, and we could see this flip to positive. I will be keeping an eye on that. The TTM wave is cyan and pointed upward. That's also a bullish indication. So I will keep an eye to see if we get more of this yellow momentum indicating a weakening in bearish momentum, and hopefully this yellow will turn to cyan. In any case, if it does fire long on the weekly time frame and the histograms are aligned and the TTM wave is still pointed upward, I am going to be looking for a call in the money or at the money, and I will do this before earnings or after earnings. I do not hold through earnings. If it does not fire this week, then I'll just keep my eye on it for the following week to see if it does fire. The last ticker I'm going to be watching this week is IBM. IBM has earnings on July 18th, so that gives us some time. It has a 17-dot squeeze on the weekly time frame, so we know that it has been consolidating for about 17 weeks on the Squeeze Pro. The histograms are mostly aligned, with this dark blue histogram on the 1-hour being the most concerning to me. I will keep an eye on it to see if this histogram will flip positive. The EMAs are stacked positive across the time frames. The weekly chart for IBM shows that the EMAs are stacked cleanly. Price action is right above the 8 EMA. A little pullback to the 8 would be your ideal entry. It already fired long on the regular squeeze for 2 bars, and it could possibly fire on the Squeeze Pro, indicating a little bit more bullish momentum. The TTM wave is cyan and pointed upward. All of these are bullish indications, and hopefully we will see IBM fire long on the weekly time frame. And if it does, I'll be looking for a call in the money or at the money. To recap, I'm going to be watching ENPH, UNH, and IBM to see if they fire from their weekly squeezes. If they do fire and all of the conditions hold, then I'll be looking for long positions in the money or at the money. If they do not fire, then I won't trade them until they fire. And remember, UNH has earnings this week. What squeezes are you watching this week? Let me know in the comments. If you like my content, if you appreciate these videos, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.